All right, in this video we're going to go ahead and do some of the final assembly stages. We've finished sewing the bottom to the outside of the bag, and what we're going to do is take the top band and you're going to pin these together so that the right side of the top band is next to the right side of the bottom outside bag, okay? So that's what it's going to look like inside, and you're going to need your zipper to be open. So go ahead and unzip that. And you're going to want to again find your midpoints on all parts. So on my bag it was easy. Same will be on yours. You have 8 panels. So you're going to put a midpoint pin every other panel. That's easy. Now on your top band of your purse, you're going to need to, you know where the 2 sides are. You have a seam here. That's the center side. And then there's another seam here. That'll be your center side. So you're going to match those 2 up and then just fold your top band out like this. Mine's pinned already, but I needed to do that so this video didn't get too long. But just pretend you're not seeing this, okay? Inside here, this is what we're trying to find, the center front. And so when we line up those 2 side seams, pinch them together with your finger and come on out here, you're going to find that fold will be the center front. And then if you go over to the other side, that fold will be the center back. And truly on this bag, there's no front or back, but that's how I'm referring to them just so we can differentiate. So then you'll have 1 pin here, 1 pin here and here, and here. So there will be 4 pins on your top band. Okay, once you have those 4 pins on there, set it down inside, so your outer bag needs to be turned right side in, wrong side out. Then you're going to set your top band down inside there so that you're looking at the lining like this, and that means your right sides are together. So the right side of the top band is touching the right side of the outside of the purse. All right, now line those pins up. It's important that your side seams match. So for example, if I look down in my bag, this is the short side. That needs to line up with this. Otherwise our bag will be really kind of crazy looking. All right, so the zipper needs to run the same direction as the long bottom piece. All right, so not this way. If your zipper is going this way and the long piece is going that way and they're opposite of each other, you're going to have to rip it apart. Okay, so let's not do that. So get those to be in agreement. The zipper this way, the bottom piece this way. Line up your 2 pins, the side of the bottom of the bag with the side of the top band. Then I went all the way over to this way and I lined up that side seam for the top band with the side seam of the bottom of the bag. I pinned those. Then I went to the other 4, or the other 2, the 4 locations. You're going to have center front with center front, center back with center back. Once you have those done, then you're going to evenly space your pleats. Now I continued with my original plan where I just put a pleat on either side of my seam. And I made my pleats always face the seam. Again, if you want to just make them all go left or all go right, whatever, but be consistent, don't be random because that will show. This is really the key front part of your purse, and people are going to notice it. So I just went all the way around until, and now all my pleats are not exactly the same size because that's not going to show, but I continued all the way around until my outer bag is now the same size as my top band. Okay, so I'm going to then pin my lining. I'm going to join the lining to this party. So same thing, I'm going to say, all right, here's my left and right sides, right? Left and right. I'm going to put that down in the purse, making sure that that's lining up with the outer portion. And I do need to get some markers. So I folded it in half and I already marked the left side. I'm going to just say this is the right side and this will be my left side. But I need to also figure out center front and center back. Because remember, we talked about the side that has the hole in it, where the seam is. We want that on the side of the purse. We don't want that to be the center front or center back. Either one, it won't look good. Let's just not do that. Okay, so now I've got that pin in. That's going to be my center front. I'm going to call this my center back. Now I'm going to refold it so my center front and center back are together. And tuck it into the bag all the way down in. And then I'm going to line those pins up. So here's my center front. And now remember, this lining is going to be bigger than our top purse band. That's okay because we need a little bit of fullness in the bag. This is my side seam lining up. Actually, I'm going to have my pins, honestly I don't know that it really matters, but I think I'll put them on the other side so I'm consistent. And then I'm going to go ahead and find my center back, line it up. Got a few extra pins here, so I'm going to go ahead and let somebody out. All right, and then my other side. All right. Now, you see, I have fullness in here that needs to be managed. So what I think I'm going to do, because I'm going to sew while looking at this side of my project, I want this side up because this is really the key thing that customers are going to look at critically. So on the back side, I am going to just take and make a little tuck. And every place I take a tuck, I'm going to put a pin so that when I'm coming along from the other side, from looking at the front, I'll know that I've got something going on back there. And I'll want to just feel it with my fingers, making sure everything is going okay. And you know what? I can do one right here. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm making my tucks go this way because then the feed dogs of the machine will just travel alongside. If I go this way, when the feed dogs come along, they're going to want to push it over that way. So might as well just go ahead and start out right where they want to go. Pin that one down, and because of that, now this quadrant is fitting. There's nothing loose. So I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. You do the same. Feel free to stop the video and do your pinning. And then you can rejoin me. We'll go ahead and we'll sit down at the sewing machine and we will sew these together. And believe it or not, you are very close to being done. We'll talk a little bit about, in the commercial bag, there is a piece of foam in the bottom of the bag, which is a nice touch. I'm not personally committed to that, only because I don't believe that foam will hold up very long anyway, so it's an unnecessary expense. What I think we can do instead is find some kind of an insert that's plastic that can hold up better, or to be real honest, we aren't real used to having something stiff down in our bag anyway, so I'm not sure it's necessary. We'll see. Many of our bags in the US actually have, so I made this pleat a little too big, and that didn't leave me any fabric to make another pleat. So I'm shrinking it down. Now you see I have more fabric. That's going to work better. Anyway, I was saying, of the bags that I really like, that I have purchased that have some form in the bottom, they make that form removable. I do like that. And we can explore that in some future versions of this. For now, if you want to go ahead and stick foam in there, I will talk about how you do that. That will be after we're done with this sewing step. We will then take a look at that, because we'll be in there at the bottom of the bag and looking at that kind of thing. All right, so I have made it, I believe, all the way around. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. You know, it looks a little messy, but you can see as I go all the way around, I'm not having any bubbles of fabric. I have pleats, but I put those there on purpose. And they're fine just the way they are. They're fairly evenly spaced because I located them where I already had pins. And so that by definition, my pins were all by my joins on these pieces. So, you know, I had 8 joins. I believe I only put a pleat at 7 of them, but that is perfectly fine. So now we're going to go over to the sewing machine and we will sew this seam, turn the bag out, and take a look at where we're at.